Hey everyone, my name is Amanda Garian, or Shyama, from the USA. I live in the Midwest near St. Louis, Missouri, and I'm the founder and director of the Stygian Collective. Sorry I couldn't be there live today. I have my first in person performance in nearly 2 years tonight. So, still, I am thrilled to speak with you all virtually by recording, and I sincerely thank Kambrah for inviting me to be a part of this special event. Tonight I'll be starting with the story of my dance journey and that of the Stygian Collective. And then I'll also be answering some frequently asked questions about our membership platform since I won't be there for the Q&A section. I wanted to make sure to put that in there. So, to start off with my story. I began my journey as a dancer back in 2012 after a really painful surgery on my tailbone. The surgery and the recovery made me lose a lot of my strength and my flexibility, so I needed to find a way to get moving again. I had always watched in awe as belly dancers moved at Renaissance fairs, and so I sought out a class at my local park district. After one class, just one, I was absolutely hooked on the intricate and emotive movements, and especially the way that it made me feel. I was a very shy person before experiencing dance for the first time, and so it really opened me up to self-esteem and self-confidence that I never had before. So I attended class weekly. I added on more classes as I could, practiced at home for hours and hours while I was still at school, and eventually I joined the student troupe through the park district. Dancing and eventually performing helped me to grow so much as a person in so many ways, and like I said, it gave me so much self-confidence and this sense of pride that I never had before in anything else that I'd done. After about a year, I started to want more, so I wanted to get out of just my local park district and make my dance more me. So I had been dancing more to the traditional drum beat music, Arabic music, Middle Eastern music, and I have always been a metalhead. Since I started listening to music on my own, I chose metal. So it seemed totally natural to me to fit this new style of dance that I had found to the music that I really lived for and enjoyed. I began a search online to see what others did to fuse metal and belly dance, finding many of the belly dancers that are here tonight, actually, and some of you were just getting started like me, and it was really inspiring to see that all over the world. I asked my teacher at that time if she would accept a metal fusion solo for me at the next Hafla, and she was a bit hesitant and unsure, but she did give me that freedom to express myself, and I'm eternally grateful for her for giving me that space to explore. I performed my first solo to a really old Mushroomhead song that nobody in the audience knew, of course, but even still, I got overwhelming support for the piece as it was so unique to what others had seen before. It was such an empowering experience that my brain practically exploded with creativity at that moment and enthusiasm. I began teaching at the request of friends before very long, possibly before I should have been teaching, but the interest was there, and it did give me the experience, and I grew in my teaching material through starting and kind of just tossed to the wind. I was loving the ride, but I wasn't fully accepted in the community of the more traditional style dancers. I had to go to performances and still get the people to look down on me, even though at the same time I had others that were super excited and wanted to learn from me. Still, that little bit of judgment, it was hard. I'm sure you've all been there, that it's hard to see that when you're trying so hard to express yourself and there's others just judging you anyway. So luckily for me, I did manage to find a few special dancers who had my same interests, and that is when the troupe the Stygian Sisters was born as a trio. We truly shook things up in our Midwest community. We pushed boundaries and we grew in so many ways. We totally embraced being the weirdos and took pride in being different at all of those performances that we went to. If people looked down on us, we just kind of snuffed it off as, yep, that's the weirdo metalheads, and we're always going to be that way, and we're always going to be here. So We were performing every weekend before long, attending workshops at every turn, gaining and losing members. We started teaching online and loved every minute of it for about 7 years. So, what happened to create the Stygian Collective is where we're going next here. So, a mix of circumstances is the short answer. One, we had some core members quit, and one of them moved pretty far away from us. A joke formed, actually, that we should create Stygian Sisters North and Stygian Sisters South to allow for her to continue dancing with us in a way. We laughed about it at the time, but I actually took that idea and held it in the back of my mind. In 2019, I moved away from the rest of the group, and being the core kind of director of the troupe, it was naturally pretty hard to keep us practicing, keep us going, keep us performing together. So things slowed down as I tried to find my footing here in the St. Louis area. I, of course, met some amazing performers along the way and began dancing solo more often, and I started teaching locally where I was accepted. The idea of multiple Stygian Sisters troops just kind of started creeping into my mind again, though. There were some people interested in what I was doing, and I was still teaching online and had people interested in that side of things, so it was just still there. In my new community in St. Louis, I was still one of the very few metal belly dancers. Besides those few that were kind of, tweaking interesting. And I missed dancing with my troupe, really, and having that connection and opportunity to express myself to a group of peers. And it was isolating, honestly. So I thought, what if I could build that community online? What if I could find other dancers who felt that isolation in our style and give them a place to grow and learn? What if I could create a troupe experience for dancers across states, or hell, even across countries? And the idea seemed totally crazy at the time, of course. But I was building a totally fresh online studio anyway, kind of rebranding myself, and really breaking away from the traditional side entirely. I just wanted to do what I was passionate about and do metal and dark fusion. So with that, I just decided to take it and run. And I got that giddy excitement that I always do when I'm starting a new project and got right to work. What was the worst that could happen was what I kept reminding myself. Just, what's it going to do? It's going to flop and whoop-de-doo, right? So I just gave it a shot. I launched the website and membership to the Stygian Collective on February 14th of 2020. Yeah, 2020, that great year, just before the COVID-19 pandemic struck really hard, at least in the US. So talk about isolating. Pretty quickly, everything was going online. And from what I saw, it was often in a very rushed fashion. Like people were having to all of a sudden take their classes online and they'd never done this before. So I was pretty lucky to have had it all prepared in advance. I was ready for it, basically. So really, there were a lot of silver linings that I'm thankful for, despite that challenging year in so many other ways. I was ready for it. Dancers all over the world were looking for ways to dance and express themselves online, and I was able to offer a community as a collaborative and supportive environment to do exactly that. I produced my first virtual show in August of 2020 as a sort of test run, and to me, it was a huge success. I'm not sure compared to other people's online, what our numbers are at or any of that, but I don't even care about numbers personally. The performers who were in it absolutely loved it, felt super inspired, were really excited to meet each other from across the world, and it was just an awesome experience. So I followed that up with a fully virtual dance festival weekend that November, The Descent. It was another, to me, huge success, with attendees raving about the uniqueness and the community aspect of the event. So I decided I would produce these virtual festivals twice a year. So I now have The Descent in the fall, which we just finished up in October, and Ascension in the spring, which we will be having on my birthday, April 8th in 2022. So that is where I am now. And as for the Stygian Collective, we're now, and unbelievable to me, we are now at 35 members strong across 6 different countries, and we're ready to tackle anything. To be honest, I was surprised that I even had 2 members join in, so I'm completely blown away that 35 people have been so inspired by what we do that they trusted in me to join us. So, we are now a community of dancers, professionals, and friends. We're lifelong learners, supporters, sisters, and brothers. We're here for each other to connect and to share, to grow and to learn, to support and love, and to promote our sisters and brothers in all ways. So that's our story so far, and I cannot wait to see our next chapters. So next I want to move on to talking specifically about the Stygian Collective itself and what membership means. I'll go over some of our frequently asked questions to give you kind of an understanding of who we are and what we do, and why you might want to join us. More so, this is just an informational thing, but I would love to see any of you in the collective as well. If this sounds a little sales pitchy, that is not what I'm going for at all. I'm just giving you an idea of what it is we do and what I offer to members and to the wider dark fusion, metal fusion community. So first, what is the Stygian Collective? How would we describe it? So our mission statement that I came up with is to foster growth and weave connections between non-traditional dancers by creating a supportive, tight-knit, and structured platform for dancers to express themselves, collaborate, and find inspiration and innovation through an open community. The Stygian Collective is an extensive worldwide community at this point of metal and dark fusion dancers, rooted in the style created by myself and the original Stygian sisters. My goal is to foster that community, spark inspiration, and provide instruction and opportunities to metal and dark fusion dancers of the world. So by sharing and learning together, the collective really aims to create this cohesive, troop-like experiment for any like-minded dancers, even if they're not into metal, and whoever and wherever they may be. So another question that we get a lot is, who can join this? Okay, there's some misconceptions, I guess, on who is welcome with us. And the simple answer to this question is literally everyone is welcome. If you have a passion for dance and simply being yourself in whatever way that means, you are our people. So whether you have no previous dance experience or you're an advanced dancer or a solo dancer or a troupe dancer, like I said, if you're a metalhead or you're not, you have a place with us. Our online studio offers many instructional materials for all levels, so completely new dancers are welcome to join us and learn from us, or more advanced dancers can find more advanced classes there as well, or just things in different styles. So there's a little bit of something for everyone. And the really cool thing about it is we're never very strict about this is our style and this is what we do. So we have these opportunities in the online studio to just take what you enjoy and really to apply it in whatever way that you would like to move. So also our tight-knit and supportive community has a ton of ways to collaborate, to share, and to grow. Quick example of some things that we do is we have choreography projects, we do live online classes, we have performance opportunities, discussion groups very often, and we do monthly meetups with members and just so much more. I'll go in detail of a couple other things that we like to do later. So the next question we get a lot is just why would someone want to join us? So we have a lot of perks and benefits, so I'll explain them all in short just to give you all an idea of what we offer. So members will get full access to everything in the online studio, and so that is my content. We also have a special members only section with bonus content that I create or also from events that we do for members only will be housed there. One of the biggest things is we have members in a private Stygian Collective group where we share just about anything. We share experiences, we ask questions, we share events, we get to know each other, and we collaborate on these unique projects that I mentioned. There's a lot of, sharing on literally anything. So it's like our own little Facebook, but just to us, kind of. Members also get discounts at literally anything we do, including private lessons with me, and that is an option live or online if people are near me. We also now have a Stygian certification program, which is a little bit more structured instruction, but we welcome your own style to it as well. It's just a little bit more structured for the techniques, and members get discounts for completing those certification programs. We also do extensive features for all of our members on social media as they request, or just reshares or any of that, to get you a little bit more seen. We also do videos posted on our YouTube channel or shared on there if you have your own. As I mentioned, we have Stygian only meetups, so that is anything from Zoom chats to full day workshops and anything we can come up with to just get us connected. We, of course, have exclusive opportunities to perform and teach at Stygian Collective events, so members get basically priority for performing at the Descent and Ascension and also for teaching. And then lastly, we have a listing on our website of all of our Stygian members in our directory. And so everyone has a listing there with links and a little blurb of info about them and links to their videos as well. So anybody can find the members on our website. So beyond those perks, our members often comment on how inclusive, supporting, and nurturing our community is. There's no judgment on your dance, your gender expression, your general way of life, or anything about you, and we truly welcome everyone who wants to be with us. We're a sounding board when you've had a rough day or a really amazing performance that you want to share. We're here with advice and tips, constructive feedback, or just a listening ear. So you might notice that I'm using the word community a lot, and that's really at the heart of the Stygian Collective. I created it to give us all someplace to go with our uniqueness and share that without the judgment and just to have a space to be yourself. So sure, there's a lot of us that are badass metal belly dancers, but deep down, we're a group who truly cares for one another and wants nothing more than to uplift each other and just support all of our individual dreams. So I'll get off that soapbox. The next question we get a lot: what style of dance do I need to do? I kind of touched on this before, but there's literally no requirements. You be you and be with us for inspiration, for creativity, sharing, growth, connection. So we have our Stygian style, but you're never limited in any way with us. You can take and leave what you enjoy. Next up, we have what types of classes do we offer? So I am our primary instructor, but I also host members for teaching classes and workshops pretty often. I'm hoping to do that more often here in the future. My online studio offers beginner through advanced lessons, multiple levels of choreography. We got combos, topic lectures, drills, just a ton of stuff. I periodically offer intensives or live beginner to advanced classes, and my personal favorite class is Crushing Combos, which is all metal combos all the time at any level. We kind of make them, you can add layers to challenge and things like that. We've hosted workshops on anything from costuming to other fusion styles like ballet fusion, makeup tutorials, emotive dance, lots of props, conditioning, you name it. Anyone who's interested in these classes can attend whether they're members or not, but we do give our members a discount. But I like to offer these to anyone, so all of you can hop right in there and get some metal fusion dance, or from our other teachers who are not strictly metal fusion like me. So, yeah. another question here that we get a lot. What other opportunities are there with memberships? So a lot of it looks like instruction on the surface. Um, so what do we actually do together? And that answer isn't really simple because the possibilities are pretty endless. We're a very creative group, and whatever we can dream up, we can probably make happen. So I wanted to share just a few examples of things that we have done recently. So looking at my notes. So we've done a ton of collaborative videos at this point. We started with a Pass the Brush style video when those started up and were popular. But we made it the Pass the Sword, and we showed off our everyday looks to Stygian transformations, and it was really pretty fun. Now we have done a video with all members who wanted to participate in each of our shows. We have so many of us now that we're doing like 2 or 3 for each festival, and it's pretty fucking awesome, to be real. No editing experience is necessary for these either because we have some wonderful and really talented video musicians in our group. So another opportunity is teach your class through Stygian dance. I have members submit their idea for classes, and we feature guest teachers anytime during the year or during the festivals. Currently, we are working on our calendar. So we did one last year, and I think we're going to make it annual. So we're making our second wall calendar right now, and it features some awesome photos from our members. In our newsletters, we also have articles on dance topics or really anything that our fans might find interesting. And so those are featured in our newsletter and blog about every month. There's lots of polls that I offer to our members. So that's from anything from helping decide what classes are offered to, when we're going to have our next meetup, what the next meetup's topic will be, things like that. I'm very, I don't set everything in stone that we're going to do. I ask opinions a lot. Also, just discuss anything, literally anything. We go from dance-related topics to cats pretty frequently. And talk about all the weird hobbies we have. Like we may be starting a Dungeons and Dragons campaign with all of our nerdy members sometime. And another one that we're doing right now is our Pandora's Box, we call it, which is kind of like a secret Santa, if you're familiar. So each year for Halloween, we do a secret gift exchange that I organize, pull everybody's names out of a hat, and we send gifts to each other for Halloween because we're metal. So there's just a ton that we actually do, and it's hard to put in words on a website to describe all of these things that we do together. So I do just want to drop in here that if any of you do have further questions for me, since I'm not there live with you to answer the Q&A, feel free to contact me seriously at any time. I will get back to you whenever. So my website I have dropped down below, and also my email, and you can contact me through either of those anytime. So I do want to start wrapping up here, though. A question that Kambrah posed was, what have you contributed to this style of metal and Gothic fusion? So I personally have created the space for dancers of our style and beyond to come together. I manage and direct that space, but I'm not really the only one who contributes. The amazing creators that we have within the Stygian Collective are growing this style and making it seen across the world now. They're making it their own, embracing the darkness along with the light, and giving themselves a voice through dance. The way the collective has grown is, like I said, just completely mind-blowing to me. The passion, love, and acceptance I see every day is phenomenal. Our dancers are breathing life into this style and their own styles in new ways each day. Another joke in our group is that we welcome new members by saying, "Welcome to the asylum!" And I've seen that as twofold, really. Yes, you're entering the wild and crazy side of dance with us, but you're also entering a space of safety and refuge. In caring for and lifting up our dancers, we promote the metal and dark fusion styles. So I wanted to end today just with a quick testimonial from my teacher, friend, and founding member, Amy Amore. I love her call out to Amy. So she said, Amanda approached me a year ago with her dream of creating the Stygian Collective group, and I said yes. Honestly, I had no idea what I was getting myself into, but I knew Amanda and believed in her and her vision. I am so glad I joined. I've really had a wonderful time with these beautiful humans. I have met dancers from other countries and all walks of life that I otherwise would not have met, and they have welcomed myself and each other with nothing but kindness, support, love, and humor, even if we didn't know each other. So thank you all so much for having me tonight. I hope that I get to meet all of you at our future events or work with you in some way or welcome you to our little asylum. Keep being inspiring and powerful dancers and be well. And please, again, reach out to me for anything, collaboration, for joining us, for questions, for our festivals. I want to meet every one of you. Thank you guys for having me again, and have a great night.